You can't get the economy moving on back at full potential unless or until we see an increase in travel.
Alberta's government putting in new rules for residents returning from international travel.
These measures are getting ready. They're kind of a preparatory measure for an expected increase in travel down the line.
Travelers from outside of Canada, whether it's here at Calgary's International Airport or the Edmonton Airport, will now have to go through a provincial checkpoint, and that'll include thermal scans. They'll also need to indicate where they'll isolate, how they'll get there, and how they'll get essentials like food and medication if someone is found to have symptoms of COVID-19.
If they don't have a way to get home for isolation without potentially exposing others, that would be where the quarantine locations would come in. There would be locations where people could stay if they weren't able to get safely home to a place where they could be away from others.
For most people around the world, they would not travel knowing that they have to quarantine for 2 weeks upon arrival. That's not something that they would do.
This tourism professor says getting travel up and running should be top of mind for the government, since tourism contributes billions of dollars to Alberta's economy, as long as it's following health guidelines.
I think that that regulatory frame is going to discourage pretty much everyone. If they're going to put stringent regulations in at the airport, they should be doing something similar at the vehicle crossings as well.
According to Alberta's top doctor, the majority of cases in the first several weeks were from international travel, many of those cases coming from the U.S. It's also been cited as the reason Calgary has had higher COVID-19 numbers than Edmonton, with more international flights into YYC. Kenny says as the province continues its relaunch strategy, they'll implement a similar checkpoint at the Alberta-U.S. border crossing at Coutts. This comes after the Prime Minister recently announced Canada and the U.S. have agreed to extend the closure of their shared border to non-essential travel until June 21st. In Calgary, Jackie Perez, City News.